When I founded Forge Wealth Management, I created a firm that aims to put our clients' interests first. Our clients are our priority. We create customized financial plans tailored to your needs and deliver them in a clear and concise manner. We are committed to our relationship with you and want to be part of your life journey. Welcome to Forge Wealth Management. We look forward to meeting you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Marsha O'Connor. I am your host today for the Shadow Herd podcast. I am the founder of shadowherd.org and very excited to obviously entertain all of you in regards to amazing guests that we have on here who are other female entrepreneurs and going through the same journey as you are. So today is actually double duty. We've got Kitty Barnes here. She is actually part of our cohort this year and she's amazing, but she's amazing because she's doing this thing called around bartending, KOT bartending. And she's going to tell you more about that. But if you want to go online, it's Kitty on tap. Bartending.com. It's really cool what she's going to do. We're going to talk about that really quickly. But Kitty, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. I'm so excited. Kitty, tell me, obviously part of shadowherd.org, just about done. Graduation is this Friday. How do you feel about the whole program so far?
So the whole program in itself, it's a community that I realized that I needed. It came at the perfect time, and I'm surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by support, and I'm surrounded by people that are just like me, women. So I think that's important for us, especially since we're groundbreaking with a lot of these businesses and up and coming and even some $1 million businesses. So Shadow Her, what stood out to me is that they're offering so much community, but offering so many resources for us women. And it's very exciting, but not to mention too, the food is always great. So I've been in other cohorts before where the food wasn't. So yes, women know.
We like having good food at our event. I think food is basically, it makes you different than other people because people always remember two things, like the people and the food. Every time.
Agreed.
And
agreed.
So I'm so excited you're a part of this. But tell me more about, your business. Tell me how, you started in 21. Tough time to get started at all in anything. Why did you get started and basically being a mixologist?
So I actually founded the idea of doing private sector events back in 2014. So I went to bartending school just as a secondary income. And, I didn't think that it would jumpstart to where it is now. So I always tease and say that I'm an accidental entrepreneur, but the goal was to always just make aesthetically pleasing, artistic, and delicious drinks, serving them to friends and family that I love. And it kind of just snowballed into a business. And back in 2020, before COVID hit, I told myself, you know what, I really love what I do. Like, it's not just about the cocktail, but it's really the relationship building and all of the friends and family that I've accumulated throughout the process of KOT bartending. So just jumped in head first, especially during COVID. My motto is just get it done. So on November 6th of 2021, I said, you know what? Let's make this business legitimate. Let me do what I need to do. Let me reach out to people that'll be able to help me. I have clients that are accountants or that are lawyers. I have clients that have businesses. So my first step, and even my husband. So my husband is right there and has been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. So just following his steps and, just more of the relationship building that he does, as well as making people feel good and, appreciating people, because even though this is my business, my clients actually feed my family and me. So it's always about the relationship building for me.
Oh, absolutely. And congratulations. That means officially 3 years.
Yes.
Celebrated your 3rd year anniversary, which is awesome. It's hard out there. It's really difficult to do. What do you think in regards like that, even the very first year, if there's one thing that you would have changed, what would it have been?
I would have I would have focused more on family time, and I would have gotten more help from family. So the first year, and I think with any entrepreneur, especially
Hmm.
something that I didn't think that I'd be doing, you
Right.
get pulled in so many different directions, and you try to listen to the best advice, but then you're also, falling and failing, and just there was a lot of hurdles that I had to jump through to get to that first year, missing out on family time, not having any weekends. So the first year, just because with private sector bartending, most events are weekends,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
family, they're in school or working during the week. So usually weekends are for family, but it kind of flip flopped. And then also, I just put a lot of focus into that and not into my health, not into, spending time with my children. And my husband and my children had to tell me, well, we're over here too. And those are those are my number one clients. I do need to make them happy in order for my business to run as well. So I would say definitely try to find a balance as soon as you can. So my thing is, if you do it soon, it'll flow naturally. Now I'm trying to get back into it so that you're not missing out on what's important, because ultimately I am doing it for them and myself. So I want to make sure that they understand that and appreciate that, and also that I'm giving them their time that they deserve.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to put that in perspective sometimes for anybody going through being an entrepreneur realizes like that first year is like it's never enough and you don't think you can afford anybody. And then you realize on the road, like, you
Yes.
know what, I actually could have and I probably could have done more if I had not been so like stubborn with the penny sometimes. But
Yes.
pound foolish, I guess I could say. And so you learn about that pretty quickly. But now you're into 3 years and then, you're
Yes.
moving forward. How many employees do you have right now?
Currently, I have 6 employees,
Congratulations.
and one of them is my oldest daughter. Thank you. My oldest daughter, Kia, she helps out a lot.
That's
So, like I said, it's important to include your family because they will offer that support that you need. So, she's one of my best workers. And then I have my son helping me clean and cut fruit, and my husband helping me with my content. So, it really is a family affair. But yes, I'll say 6. But in turn, if you add my son and husband, about 8 employees.
But that's really good experience for them too, because they have to appreciate
Yes,
what goes into everything that you're doing. And especially I think for moms, they make it look so easy and so like seamless and it just shows up and they don't realize like, oh my God, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. And
yes,
they'll appreciate you more in regards to what you're doing, to provide a living for them as well, which is awesome. I always think getting the
yes.
kids involved as soon as possible. Mine, I would have them go to Target, pick up sodas. I'd have, hey, go over there. And then he bring the
Yes.
sodas back. And I'm like, no, you're not done. You gotta put them away. Like you gotta put them in the refrigerator. And
Yes.
he's like, what? And I'm
Yes.
like,
There's steps.
you gotta learn how to do all that. And so I hired him as
Yes.
my a bartender. He's not a bartender, but he's old enough now. But I had him and his friend for one of the things that we did. And ironically enough, he cleaned up afterwards and they took all the trash out and did everything.
Good.
I didn't say a word. And they're like, well, you trained him well. I said, well, it's been 17 years that he knows the ropes now, what's expected, and so
Exactly.
you're doing the right thing out there for sure. Now,
Thank you,
you are
Marcia.
involved in a few other groups to help you get started and hang out with other entrepreneurs. Tell me more about them.
So Goldman Sachs was an amazing program for me. So that probably, I want to say, was my first cohort. I finished this year in April. It was very intense,
Right.
definitely intense, but eye-opening. And like, I've cried so much in that cohort. I've laughed so much. I've connected with so many
Yep.
people, people that I still interact with and talk to on a daily basis. I think it's important for entrepreneurs to have a community, because you have people that support,
Yep.
and you have people that want to help as much as they can. But I feel like you'll get more when you're surrounded by people that are doing some of the same things that you're doing.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Goldman Sachs was definitely amazing. The business advisors there, Fran, was amazing. My personal business advisor and my growth group, Tawana, was great.
Nice.
She actually helped me lock in a libations consulting opportunity during class, like something I didn't think that I'd be able to get, or not even the money that she told me to get. But
Wow.
with me, I try to listen. So if you're telling me something, especially whomever it comes from, I'm going to
Yep.
listen. So she helped me build the presentation. She's like, hey, you had to know your worth and then add text. And so that gave me the motivation there. And that was in March, just moving forward, knowing my worth and knowing that I deserve what I asked for because I've worked hard for it and I have the credentials for it. So Goldman Sachs helped with building connections, but it also helped me build confidence
Hmm.
in myself and in my business. I'm also a part of a group, Entrepreneurs Forever. That is a virtual group. We meet up once a month every morning, once a month, Thursday mornings. And that's a small, intimate group similar to Shadow Her, but just a
Nice.
lot of support and a lot of feedback. And, some things that you're working on in your business, and it could be the smallest things. And then people
Oh
can say,
yeah.
well, hey, instead of doing 2 payments, you should break it down into 3. Like, it's small things like that you don't think about until you start interacting and mingling with your community.
You need your tribe. You need a tribe. It is very
Yes,
lonely out
definitely.
there. It is
It takes a
very
village.
frustrating. It does, and you want to pull your
Yes,
hair out sometimes, and you feel sometimes helpless, but
yes,
you'll never say it. But you do.
yes.
Yeah. Goldman Sachs was great. I was cohort 7. So it's really weird
Oh,
when people
yes.
say like I was cohort 24. What cohort number were you?
32.
Yeah, see, there you go. And it's just so like, wow, when you hear that. And Franny was actually my person. She was like my
Nice.
mentor in the team. So
Okay,
we've stayed close all these years and all, which is great. And she was part of our
that's
last
great.
training session for Shadow Her. So it's
Yes,
funny how it goes
yes.
around, comes around. It's a beautiful
It
thing out
does.
there.
It does.
You know, it's really cool. So talk to me about, before we take a break here, talk to me more about like, just the next year. Like, what are your goals for 2025?
So goals for next year, um, hiring more staff, the right people.
Of course.
Also, yes, of course. So that's important. But also growing my newest business venture, which is my Simple Syrup Line. So the goal will be to maintain the business relationships that we currently have, working more on brand awareness, and also just jump starting and really pushing forward with the KCQ Simple Line.
Oh my God. Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to take a quick
Okay.
minute break here. And then we're going to come into specifically why you decided to do a simple syrup sideline and what was the call behind it and where we're going to go with that. So give us a second out there. Again, this is Marcia with Kitty Barnes today. And we're here at shadowher.org, and stay tuned.
Ready to redefine your talent strategy? Let's make Redefine the word of the year for your success. Introducing RAS, Recruitment as a Service. Outsource your talent strategy with the O'Connor Group. Our 4-tiered approach was crafted to align with your business, whether you're launching a startup or leading a thriving corporation. Our cost-effective solutions are designed to elevate your business and enhance your people strategy, ensuring scalability and strategic growth. Redefine your recruitment strategy with RAS.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is Marcia O'Connor with shadowher.org. You're listening to Shadow Her Podcast. And my dear guest here is Kitty Barnes. And don't forget, Kitty is the person to hire when you have a party, you need that bartending specialization. She is that person to basically hire and do all that and do it really well. And one of the things that's so cool about being an entrepreneur is sometimes you see like hey, people are asking this. I have another idea for a side business. And you did just that. So tell us more about that
Yes.
side business.
So the newest business venture slash side business is we're talking about the Simple Syrup Line.
Yep.
Yes, yes. So oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but when I do any type of events, starting back to when I first bartended, I used to curate my own syrups, dehydrate fruit, things like that. So I was always big on fresh ingredients.
Yep.
And then years later, I started doing cocktail making classes. And so I would make the simple serves for some of the craft cocktails that we've done in class. Fast forward during COVID, I had to do the classes virtually. So then I would teach people how to make simple syrup the quick way.
Yep.
And then this year, I did a cocktail class with an organization, Name It. It was a large party, and we did smoked sweet potato old fashioned. So
Ooh.
I did a sweet potato simple syrup with brown sugar, fresh organic sweet potatoes.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's do this and smoke this. And then some of the people were like, wait a minute, I need to buy some of this. And I'm like, I don't really sell it. And so as I started progressing with the cocktail classes, I started incorporating different types of flavors. So one of the most popular ones that I do are my lavender and my strawberry-hibiscus, which you don't necessarily need them for cocktails. I use the lavender syrup. I put some in my Pellegrino. My son uses it with his lemonade. So various options for this. But I just wanted a healthier alternative to drinking soda, healthy alternative to syrups, because there are syrups that are really, really good that we use, but they have food coloring, a lot of additives, artificial flavorings, things like that. My simple syrup line, it has nothing but fresh ingredients. So we do fresh fruit, dried fruit. So our lavender, the hibiscus is a dried Jamaican hibiscus. So all premium ingredients, all natural, organic sugar, filtered water. It's that simple.
I love it. You know, it's so funny.
Thank you.
I didn't really, I guess probably during COVID started really, having cocktails. But I didn't realize for the longest time, I was like, where do I buy simple syrup? And I'm a builder and I'm a fixer. And I was like, I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm going to look it up online really fast. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's really simple syrup. And I'm like, this is all it is. I'm like, wait a minute. I can, it's that simple. And I had no idea. And I think you're onto something really big here, because there's the same little stupid little thing that they give you. It's not even a great, sugar in it. And I'm like, if you could do your own that has natural ingredients and get it moving, I really think you're onto something, because nobody sells it like that. And if you can get it out there and do like cane sugar or whatever, I think you've onto something big here. I really do.
Thank you, Marsha. And one of the other reasons why it took me so long is I kind of was deterred myself from the idea of launching this line, because, again, it's simple to make. It's easy. But also there are a lot of things that we can do that we pay for. And so I had to get out of my own head. But that's another thing for future entrepreneurs. Just get out there and do it. And I saw a post on Instagram a few months ago that'll still stick with me. It was an image of the bread aisle. And there's so many different brands. You have wheat, rye, white, Hawaiian, all the same thing, different prices, different brands. But guess what? They're all selling. They're all on the shelves. So I had to get out of my own head and say, you know what? Yes, you may be able to make a simple syrup, but now it's going to be bottled up for you. You don't have to worry about picking the lavender. You don't have to worry about sitting and watch and making it for hours on end, when, I could do that. It's just, small price.
Yeah, well, everything has a small price for it, and people will pay for good ingredients. People will pay for if it's going to enhance it. And you're right; they can put it to lemonade and iced tea. It doesn't have to be. There's a lot more people doing mocktails now than ever before. And it's honestly endless. I would think, because there's a need for it.
Agreed.
Just figuring out how to be out there and not having a competitor try to get you, which is, it's one of the things you got to deal with on the road. But I think it's onto something there for sure. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, getting that moving and getting it going. I mean, obviously, you're going to have more people next year. You're getting out there. How do you market yourself? Because, I would never had known you were out there until you came aboard as Shadow Her.
Yes. So that is something that I am working on and still working on. So that is a major goal for 2025. Right now, the business has been growing because of a lot of referrals, a lot of word of mouth, a lot
Sure.
of posts that I think don't get recognized on Instagram. So when people do reach out through my website, kotbartending.com, I do ask the question, how did you hear about us? Majority of them say Google, and that's because of our 5-star reviews. We have over 250 5-star
Yeah,
reviews on the World Wide Web,
it's
but
great.
also Instagram. Thank you. And so I'm like, okay, so now because I don't have a huge following on Instagram. However, most of the people that inquire and book, they see me on Instagram, but most of it has been referrals and word of mouth. That's what's been keeping me.
Well, I gotta tell you, I have a person that I want to put you in touch with to help you with that Instagram post every
Thank
day,
you.
because if that's where it's coming in and you're tracking all that and to get it moving, you're probably going to get more out of that because people want to see that,
Yes.
especially like near the holidays. If you had
Yes.
the Valentine's cocktail of the month with this or this, or March is this,
Yes.
and working on the holidays and all too, people just like to be a little creative and they like having little cocktail get-togethers, but they like to be different,
Exactly.
somehow to do something like that. But I think that would be great, and I'll connect with you somebody on
I would
that to
love to.
help you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then moving forward, I know you love to learn and you are learning constantly all the time. How do you when you learn, how do you do that? Do you do it by books, podcasts? Do you do Audible? What's your favorite way of learning?
My favorite way of learning is the first would definitely be like in-person interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm most effective and you could get your point across when it's face to face physically. Next would definitely be a podcast
Yep.
and reading articles. So each morning I read, bar management or, cocktails of the day or, certain spirit information. So I try to make
Yep.
try to make it a point to make sure that I'm still honing my skills and learning new things because I don't know everything and I won't know everything, but I'm
Yep.
100% willing into learning as much as I can.
Yeah, it's hard. When you're an entrepreneur too, I think you're expected to know everything, and we just don't, and we won't. And I
Exactly.
don't think anybody realizes that sometimes. And so I find that fascinating when, I'm like, oh, I don't do that. I'm like, oh, keep on learning. As an entrepreneur too, it
Yes,
is constantly falling down, lots of times on your face, and then you get back up again. But I would say,
exactly.
what's that one word that you would give to somebody who's just started to be an entrepreneur? What's that one word to keep them motivated?
Patience.
Patience. Good move. Yeah,
Patience.
I know. Well, it's hard. I haven't found
It
too many
is.
entrepreneurs that have patience. Okay, Kitty.
Oh,
So
I'm just starting to get patient, but that's definitely the word because you just never know. I've
no.
had instances where someone reached out about bartending services, but then they declined because they found someone else. And then months
Mm,
later, that fell through. So they came back to me. And then that's how I built that relationship. So sometimes it just takes time and patience. Even the
yeah.
same thing with, just developing a business. A lot of entrepreneurs that I know that are into their millionaire status, they've been real and said, sometimes it can take 5 to 10 years, but you have to be committed to it.
Yep.
Is it worth your time? Is it worth that time?
Yeah.
Patience. If you want it,
Patience.
patience.
Yeah. And people don't. I think people have less and less patience. You can tell by driving on the
Yes.
road.
Yes.
Beep beep beep.
Yes.
And they send you signals of like you're in the wrong lane and just their fingers.
Yes.
But
Right.
it's always like you have a great day too.
Yes.
But yeah, it is definitely for sure. And then if people want to get a hold of you, the best way to do it. I know you mentioned your website, but tell us the best way to get a hold of you.
So definitely website first, KOT Bartending or kittyontopbartending.com. You can also reach out to me via email at hello@kittyontopbartending.com. And you can hit me up on social media as well. I'm very social, so you can reach out.
Oh my God, I love it. And, so for those, again, don't forget, Kitty on Top. Bartending.com is her website. So definitely take a look at her. And also reach out to on LinkedIn. If you guys are having a cocktail reception coming up or party, just reach out to her. We have to help each other out. And so when I have a lot of women entrepreneur events, I love having women entrepreneurs there. So we'll definitely be talking to you about that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for being on the show today. Thanks for everything you're doing. Best of luck. You're going to do great. You have the attitude and the grit behind it. So I can't wait to hear more about your Simple Syrup lines coming through.
Thank you.
And we'll be touching base, but kudos to all of you. And for people out there listening, like take ideas, reach out to Katie, reach out to us anytime. It's lonely out there and it is hard. It is not, and things to do every day. And so forget, you need, as Katie said, patience. Which I know we all don't have, but it's in there deep. You got to pull it out sometimes for sure. So, well, guys, thanks so much for listening to us today. I appreciate it out there. Like us out there. Put some comments, share it. We really love when you repost our things and all too. Like I said, believe in you, because here at Shadow Her, we do. And until next time, you guys take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Marsha. Appreciate you.